All right, I'm the flat rate master, and today we're talking about ticket distribution or dispatch. All right, you're working as an auto tech. Ticket distribution can be either a very sore spot or you're getting fed gravy. How does it work? And especially, how do I do it? Now, first we got to go over a little background if you're getting into the industry. There's skill levels, and for ease of use and how the industry has titled them for a long time, there's an A tech, a B tech, and a C tech. Now, an A tech basically is going to be the highest paid guy in the shop. Pretty much going to be able to do anything. R&R engines, transmissions, heavy diagnostics, complex diagnostics, down to an oil change. Whatever the shop needs him to do, he can do. He may not do it, but he can do it. B techs, he's going to be your R&R guy, the guy that can, pull an engine, transmission, anything you need to do, dashes, all that. He's also going to be able to do basic to intermediate diagnostic work. So as long as it's not too complex, he's going to be able to handle it, or her. C tech, low man on the totem pole. Light R&R, maybe an alternator, valve covers, oil changes, brakes, maintenance stuff. Now, a little background. I am a shop foreman at a 10-bay shop, and we have 5 technicians, including myself. I am on the line. I'm not just a guy sitting on a computer desk, assigning tickets and that kind of stuff. I actually do work day to day, just like everybody else. But I assign all the tickets that go through the shop. Now, and most shops, either the shop foreman, dispatcher, or service advisor is going to dispatch the tickets. And it's going to vary by location and all that. But same principles apply. Whenever you look at dispatching tickets, you have to look at skill level of available techs. Now, what I mean by that is you've got, let's say I've got 5 techs here. Well, I've got a diagnostic and I've only got 1 tech that's capable of doing diagnostics available. I'm kind of, handcuffed. I got to give it to him. Whereas an oil change, brakes, stuff like that, I've got other options. Now here I'm pretty lucky. Myself, Andrew, James can do pretty much, most diagnostic work. Jesse can do some basic diagnostic work up to intermediate. Sean can do some basic diagnostics, but, your shop may vary on what is available. What I mean by available is, again, you have to have somebody that's physically available, not tied up on a job. Let's use a simple scenario. 3 techs, an A tech, a B tech, and a C tech. You've got 3 tickets to distribute. You've got a check engine light, no complaint. You've got a check engine light with multiple complaints. They're complaining about this, and then you got an oil change or a brake job or something simple. Well, the brake job, oil change is simple. You give it to the C tech. Let him handle that. You've got 2 diagnostic tickets to handle. And depending on the shop, that may be all you have is customer description. If nobody goes out and pulls the code, you don't know. Now here, if I don't know anything, I either go talk to the service writer, or I'll even walk in the parking lot with a quick scan tool and scan it to give me an idea on what I need, how I need to proceed with that ticket, whether I take it or can assign it to, one of the other techs available. And that's how it goes. And, let's say I assign that no complaint check engine light to my B tech, and it turns into a nightmare. It's a can failure issue, and whereas that other one was just a misfire and customer didn't realize it was Toyota, so all the other lights came on and, you know, stuff like that. You really don't know. One of the complaints I hear a lot from, you know, A-techs, they're better than their you know, lead tech in the shop or whatever, but they're struggling with diagnostic work. Well, why is that? Well, there's really only two reasons. One, you're in a kind of junky shop that pulls in a lot of customers that, you know, only time they worry about a, you know, drivability complaint is when it's too bad to drive or they need their emissions test for their license. And those can be nightmares. And if you're in that situation, you might want to look about changing jobs. The other one is you got to look in the mirror. If day in, day out you're struggling with diagnostic work, you probably need to spend some more time studying. You know, subscribe to Scanner Danner Premium, watch all his courses, invest in yourself. If you're struggling that much with diagnostic work, you probably need some help. Now here, the other guys in the shop have the option of coming to me, and I'm, you know, freely able as part of my job to help them in those diagnostics. Your situation, you may not have that. You may have to struggle on your own, and in the world of flat rate, either you get through it or you lose. So if you're struggling that much with diagnostic work, you really need to consider what the factors are. Is it the cars you're getting that are just so junky beyond belief, or is it really you? And you need to look hard at that. If you are at a shop where you're struggling with diagnostics, but your A-tech is pulling in cars, diagnosing them, getting them sold, you know, if you're still on your first car of the day and he's on his fourth diagnostic of the day, you probably need to look at yourself. Because doubtful they're feeding him gravy work. Now, I'm going to do a whole nother video on favoritism in the shop and that kind of stuff, but when you look at, you know, a lot of people gripe about what the other guy is getting in the shop. You need to worry about what's in your bay, getting it diagnosed efficiently and getting it sold and moving on to the next car. Getting back to the cars you're getting assigned. It's not an easy decision. Sometimes, you know, we don't have enough information. We hand a guy that really shouldn't get that car, but does. Other times, you know, it's simply, his skill level is just not up there. So when it comes to ticket distribution, somebody has to make a decision on where that ticket goes. Even me. You know, I might not be available to look at a car. I've got 20 hours sold, and I've got to make a decision on where those cars go. So I have to decide what the skill level is and decide from the description of the ticket where it goes. Not always easy, not always cut and dry. But a good manager will get it right most of the time. Not always. No one will ever get it right all the time. Unless you've got a shop full of A-techs, chances are there's going to be some missteps. Now, when you get one of those tickets that's above your pay grade, you need to go ahead and tell the boss, you know, this is a little above me. Maybe you should assign it to Bubba Joe Bob instead of, you know, and give me something else. Now, if you're doing that on every ticket, obviously, he might need to make some decisions on, you know, your skill level and your pay. But if you really, truly are out of your pay grade, you need to talk to management. But most times, the guys up front know you better than you do. So if they're handing you all the diag work and you're, you know, complaining about not getting the timing belts the guy next to you gets, it's because you're good. make everything out of those tickets you can. Remember, just because it came in for check engine light doesn't mean it doesn't need other work. Look over that vehicle and try to sell everything you can that's needed on that car. I hope you like this look into ticket distribution. Hope you found it informative. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments are always appreciated. If you really like the video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Make sure and hit the bell notification so you get notified when I put out a new video. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.